Check, check. Welcome in, team. We doing Scotty? Yeah, I'm in some AT&T. What am I in? November 27s and January 27s. Like my Novembers are down a little bit, and the Januaries I got in on Friday. But small class, 7 people. All right. Well, um, anybody else have requests? Put them in. Get them in. All right, 5:01 my time. So one more server ping, and we'll get started, guys. All right, y'all. Small class, more people trickling in on that second ping, but if you guys want some requests, get them in. That way you don't have to wait too long. So far, we got AT&T and CRML and NNE. And guys, let me know. Are you guys looking for shares? Looking for swings? You're in it, or you want to be in it? You're in it at a loss. Like I always say every week, just let me know what you're eyeing on that. CRML. Just getting this written down. 1 second, guys. What's the ticker for Figma? Is it FIG or is it something different? Just taking a wild guess, but yeah, cool. All right. Calvin wants gold. Calvin, are you in that or just looking for an entry, brother?
Nope, I'm in.
Z wants Intel. Cool. We got some stuff rolling in. All right, so I'm gonna dive in, guys. I'll catch back up on writing those down, but I got 5 or 6 done. But try and get to everybody at least once. But welcome in, guys. My name is StartedWith, one of the staff members here. As usual, we'll start off with SPY and QQQ and kind of take it from there. Kind of see where we're at, where I think we're going. We're ranging. We got some pretty violent moves last week, and if you were not on the correct side of the pumps or the dumps, your portfolio is probably in bad shape. I know a lot of staff members were talking privately just in the staff channels that last week was not friendly to most of you, or at least some of you that voiced your opinion in our DMs. And that's, it's okay to be a little bit red, but if you're super deep red, we got to figure some stuff out, you guys. And quickly and foremost, your position sizing, you got to size down and you got to have stops on. Doesn't matter if if what looks like a great setup. Once it's invalid, it's invalid. You guys have to respect those stops. But so with that, you guys, this is, let me delete this. This is the 1 hour chart on SPY. As of now, we're a little bit down from our close, but that's all right. But some big levels I want you guys to focus on it and, look at here what I always tell you guys. First and foremost, always have a plan, always think big picture. And big picture, I made it super obvious on my comments. This level is important. You can see every time, obviously, we push up and we fail to get daily closes over this level up here, basically over 667. What do? We sell down, we sell hard. Okay, we get back over it, we push, we sell underneath it. So we're kind of what I'm calling a middle of the range right now, guys. 664.55. Okay, this is crucial this week, and I'm going to show you why. First and foremost, we hold it, we get some movement up. We sell it, we get to move it to the downside. So as of now, we're at it or slightly below it. But daily 20 moving average and daily 9 are stacked right overhead. And so we sold off and then we had an up day. So we'll see where these moving averages average out when they open and they calculate the price in the morning. But those are going to be stacked basically, within 50 cents of this zone here. And so very careful, you guys. If we make a push at the open and we're not getting any continuation to the upside and we're kind of stalling out in this zone here, there's a reason why we're doing that, and that's something to watch there. And we look to the left, we can see what happens. We try to break down, retest, fail to break out over. What do we do? Hard sell, same cluster zone, hard sell. Okay, so if we start failing this 665 tomorrow, be very cautious trying to get bullish on stuff. Obviously, stuff can pay on its own separately. If Hood or Amazon or whatever it is moving on its own, that's very possible. But for overall market sentiment, you guys, 664.55, mark down your chart. If you guys are just trading on your phones, at least slap a line there and check back when you're in trades. Are we over that, under that? Are we trending up or down? So that's going to decide the day and possibly the week for us. So mark that down. Like I always say, take a screenshot, whatever you got to do. Big zone there. QQQ, similar situation, slightly better, but we need to see this green zone hold here. So 604 to 604.5, I want to see that hold. If that holds this week, I'm looking for bullish positions overall, especially on tech, stuff like that. I'm calling this green zone in here. This is a river scalp zone. This is a no zone for me because it can happen. Anything can happen inside of there. Large wicks, large fake outs both ways. I don't want anything in between here. I'm bearish under 603 and I'm bullish on a 604.54 hold. Cautiously bullish because we can see what happens when we try to push over that. But once we get those holds over and we bounce, you can see how we move very nice over that. And so that's my focus this week. I know we got a lot of whiplash action last week, but guys, we are back in a range, and a range like this makes it very easy where we don't want to get long. We want to be, trimming our longs or looking for puts and zones down here where we want to look for a bounce. Okay. So keep an eye on those two levels this week. Set some alerts, whatever you guys have to do. All right. Scotty, let's look at AT&T. I like this. This 2610. This is a very, it's a cheaper moving stocks, guys. We'll zoom in on the daily here and kind of look at what I'm looking at here. Basically, what I want to see for any confidence we're going to get continuation in the near term, Scotty. 26.63 is kind of level I'm watching. You see, I already have alerts set and ready, and you see, I already have this downside alert, which I need to move up here since we broke over that. This 25.6, it's invalid for my current positions I'm in. If we break below that, Scotty, I really want to see bare minimum 2610. I want to see, if we back test, that's fine, but 2610 for me, I need that to hold this week. We have earnings this week, I believe, the 19th, the 20th, 21st, yeah, something like that. So, but any break over that, and we're in good shape. But again, we got the 200 moving average and the 20 overhead. But again, kind of in this middle of this range here, it's about a 50-cent pocket. You can see once we get over that, it looks good for us. When we get under, we see some selling pressure. So if you're not in already, Scotty, I would look for, I don't remember in your comments, October 31st, 26.5 call. Yeah, I love it, man. So if you're not in it already, clear as day for me. If we get a back test of 2610, slap it, or a break of the zone here from last week, which a 10-cent move will put you in the money very quickly. Those are gonna pay very nicely. But you can see here, we're making last 3 days higher lows. So basically, what we need tomorrow is a little dip, and we want to close a little bit higher if we can on the day, or at least make a dip market open and we set another higher low. So that's what I'll be watching for. I'm keeping a close eye on it. Again, you see my alerts are set. Wait for them to fire off. But yeah, I'm still a little bit red on my, I think I'm in November 27s. I think I got caught somewhere around this day here. So definitely a spot to watch there for sure. All right. ANDR wants CRML. Critical metals. Moving, very nice. Ooh, definitely, it's attempting a nice little trend break right here. 1, 2, 3 touches. Trend break, possible reversal. So if you want to get bullish on this name, says metals. Yep, no surprise there. It's been running. On the hourly, if you're not in already, obviously in hindsight, but all dips into this zone here, this 1925 into 20 zone here. Super nice area in here, and the daily 9 moving average, it bounced perfectly and is now attempting a trend break. So a lower low. Friday did not put in a lower low, attempting a trend reversal. This is a trend, a downtrend for the new traders. This is a attempted trend reversal. So for me, break and retest a 20 flat is a very nice level. We're kind of grabbing this wick right here. If we know this level or this zone here does not hold, we're probably going to break below and test kind of this double bottom action there. But if you want to get bullish on this name, kind of a nice setup here. I don't know anything about the company, if they're just running because, or if they're running, because it makes sense. But definitely a break and retest that level there. It kind of lines up with this bounce zone there. So get long, stay long there for sure. Very, very nice. Maxwell's looking for a day trade in an E. I think I recognize that name. Nice. Let's see. Let me get a couple levels here for you. Yep, seen some things I like for sure, some things to watch out for. We were bouncing. Definitely nice little zone here to be bouncing. Those wicks and those candle bodies right there. Top side, where we close under, obvious to me. All right. Maxwell, breakout retest textbook possibly is forming. What I would do here, man, this is just my trading style, but I try and make it super easy for you guys and super easy. So breakout retest, boom, moved. Breakdown retest, a little bit of sell here, retest, sell. So a breakdown retest, if we get that lucky tomorrow or this week, 48.18, I would definitely hammer out, slam some calls there. I do not want to be bearish on this name until we close under that. We start getting price action like that, or like this from the afternoon on Thursday, this price action here. But as long as we're over this, basically 48, this 48.18 pocket, so it gives you a little 20 cents risk to the downside for all this upside potential here, at least a $2 upside that I can see on a quick move here, Maxwell. So any holds of this, man, you got to get long here, expecting and looking for the bounce. I know other traders will be thinking the same thing. If you do get the bounce, grab these wicks here. You got all this price action. So you're basically looking for swing highs and lows back and forth. So probably this 49 flat up to this 50. If this daily 9 stair steps down, that'll probably be stacked right there. Definitely a target on that for sure. Yeah, it could go to 65 for sure, man. But we're more than $20 away right now, or close to $20 away. So, think big for sure. But we got all this to chew through on the way up. But if you want to get long anywhere on this box, man, shares and options, as long as this cluster and volume that's building here, definitely get long, stay long with time, and nibble on some shares for sure there. Absolutely. Nice request so far, you guys. All right. Lee, let's take a look at FIG. Feel free to mute if you want. Are you in this one? I didn't see any comments yet. Let's see. Average is 99 shares. Okay. I'm assuming that's what you mean. I got some levels up here from somebody. What's your commentary on this? Are you looking to sell for a loss? Looking to add on this? Is this a new IPO? I can't scroll left a whole lot here. Your average is 99, so you're down quite a bit. New IPO, that's tricky. All right, so are you in your full intended position size? Or are you in heavy and now you're staring at deep loss? If you're staring at deep loss, you should be selling. I know it's an IPO, but I charted it for someone back here. We're breaking lows. Tricky, man, because you're down a lot. But the next big support I see down here is another 10% away. That's the spot to watch, Lee. Down into here, this zone here. So you can see it's building a base, basically $50, $51. That's where they're defending. So if you do have money, I'm not saying just to keep adding and adding and adding on a position that you're staring at a deep loss in, but if you're only in a partial position and you're okay being down, whatever percent that is, 40, 50%, this is for sure where you add. But if we break new lows on this IPO, you have to cut and just accept the loss. You cannot just because there's shares, they don't expire unless the company goes bankrupt. But this is clear and obvious. I mean, we see multiple days since basically the 1st of September is defending this level for 6 weeks now or whatever that is. And so that's the spot. Start dollar cost averaging in here. But again, if you're already in too heavy, you need to just reduce some risk and free up some money, because tell anybody this, all this time you're holding for a loss. You could be selling for a loss and use that money elsewhere and making your money back and not worrying about it. So that's my advice for you there. Let's see. Calvin, GLD 389 for GLD. All right. Engulfing candle Friday, all-time highs, I assume. So, man, this thing just gaps. This thing has more gaps than who's that football player? Michael Strahan. Oh, that's mean. Sorry. I think he has teeth fixed. We've really got to back test some levels, man. If you're not in, I kind of sort of like this zone because it defended recently. So this 385, if we trickle into here, man, this is a good risk reward, what I would say. Not just saying because you want to be in it, but you know, a break and retest of this level here. And Friday we defended it. So there's still buyers here. So this hourly 20 is probably going to just keep kicking it down. If we come into here, I would try and buy the dip on this, man, on those December calls. You got a realistic strike. This is the spot to do it because, again, that's a big buyback to defend that level. But again, if you take calls here, we slice that. We're probably going to start, you know, where we start kind of setting a higher low and retracing somewhere down in this level here. Could get bad as the 375s, you know, and we got the daily 9 moving average creeping up too. So we had a down day, so that's going to stair step down a little bit. But for me, how I trade, doesn't matter how much time I have, uptrend, bouncing support. If it breaks this support, that is another structure break. I would personally be out if I'm trying to bounce some calls there. But that's the spot to do it for sure, man. So 385 for me, man. If you take it, make some profit. Let me know in DMs or on Trade For, because I love when you guys have requests. We go over it together and you actually take action on it. I love that. Let's see. Z, you're still here. Intel, let's take a look. November 21st, 40 calls. All right, I like your strike. Profit or sitting at a loss, brother, on these Intels? What you got, Z? See, you're still in here. Feel free to unmute if you want. Got in at 2. Or wait, let's see what you say here. Big cluster. Is this? I don't know if this all-time highs. No. All right. So let's step back. I'm on the weekly. Hang with me here, just grabbing some big levels on these wicks. Find out where we're bouncing, why we're bouncing. Earnings this week. Ooh, tricky. So of course, so this is a weekly chart. So 1, 2, 3 weeks pinned under 37, bouncing over 34. So tricky spot here. Let's look intraday, what we're kind of doing, what we're moving here. Yeah, clear as day. Again, break and retest method for me. Earnings this week. Man, if you can get a breakout that holds of this, basically this 37 level, it tries and it looks good, and we just do not get the closes that we want. You know, they break out early in the day, it looks like, and it just keeps getting smacked down. Basically at 38, a lot of selling pressure. So if you're green on these bounces, man, you can get a sell into 38. I would definitely, for me, how I trade, especially with earnings coming up in 4 days, definitely reduce some risk in that 38 zone, because it can't get more obvious where selling pressure kicks in. It doesn't matter how bad you want it to break out or anybody else. It's just not happening. Yeah, you may be, you know, heartbroken if you reduce some risks. I told you so, and then we finally get the breakout and you're not holding full. But worst thing to do is just keep holding. We're kind of selling it here, like, okay, I'm okay. Earnings kick off, and then boom, we knife down. Then you're really going to be hurting because you're in November's. Those will take a hit, but you're up. Okay, you're up 24%. Great, man. So this is the level to watch, man. I guess it's up to you to decide how much risk you want to take on this 37. If we start getting closes under kind of this sort of like Friday, Thursday as well, decide how much risk you want to take on if you want to take on earnings. But man, if we get this breakout, man, it's trying. It is really trying, but you know, day after day, it's just not happening. Kind of that 38 zone, 37.5. But you can see where they want to buy it. So keep taking your shot here, man. If you know this name very well, keep trading it, man. Keep trading it. You know, the best thing you can do is find a stock that's ranging like this, short the tops, long the bottoms, and just keep flipping over and over. We're day traders, you guys, most of us. Some of us swing, but you know, if you're day trading SPY or QQQ or whatever, who cares where it's going? Just day trade the levels that are right in front of you. All right. Just Intel, cool. Gotta scroll up a little bit here. Ryan, you still in here? Yep. All right. APLD. APLD. Applied Digital. Oh, we got some levels from somebody. Let's see. You're in shares and swings, or wait, you're in shares and swings, or you want to be in shares and swings? Let me know in the chat, or feel free to unmute if you want to talk and you're not shy. Let's zoom out. Core position at 5-ish. Hell yeah, love it. Holding January 27 calls. All right, man. Let's zoom out. Is this all-time high zone? Looks like it. Cool. So you're up big, man. I'll keep it short and sweet. This wick here, this 34 to 33 7, excuse me, 33 to 34 zone. You know, I would not, be adding shares to kill your dollar cost average. I would just hold those shares as you seem to be doing and just scaling out. And then those leaps, man, just let it ride. I don't know what percent you're up if you are, but definitely, man, ride this wave. If you're up a lot, this structure right here. So a big pop and then buybacks. 2 weeks in a row, we're getting buybacks at 32.7. Obviously, if we're pinching pennies, it didn't quite get there every single time, but that zone, man, if that holds and we keep bouncing and we kind of break this zone here, man, ride those leaps, break out, trim, leg up, break out, trim. But if we start breaking down here and you're in huge profit, even though they're 2027 expiration, just trim or reduce some risk, because it can get ugly if we break this support that's been holding for 2 weeks. You can see got this zone here, but after this zone here, we don't spend much time each day in this area. So it could fall very hard under 30. So kind of be watching that. That I think it was NAK or NAT, whatever it was, that I seen some flow on it, and then Shark posted on it the next day. I'm in 2027 leaps, and within not bragging, within 5 or 8 days is up 100%. I sold a bunch. Yeah, they expire in 18 months, but if you get that move, how do you not trim? So if you get this breakout here on those 2027 leaps, trim some, reduce risk for sure, man. All right. iPhone, let's take a look at Hood. Ooh, I need some levels in between here. I haven't hit this in a while. What are we doing here recently? Yeah, let's just grab this recent price action. Go back to the hourly here, guys. What are we looking at here? Nice, only defend that pre-market. Doing it pre-market without us. Let's see, we don't want to chase. We want to buy the dip on some calls. 130. Look at that wick there, that wick there. Doesn't quite tag it there, but that area of interest right there last week. And on the top side, what's causing issues if you're late? Definitely that 133.50 to 134. You do not want to be late up there. All right. Yep. Cool. Zooming in here. Give me a second, guys. All right. What do we have here? Lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low, lower low. Pre-market. We have a low and attempting, hopefully, a higher low, which is a trend reversal, trend break. So you guys love Hood. Grizzlies loves it, rightfully so. Break and retest, 130, guys. 130 has to be defended this week. If you're a day trader or swing trader short term, any bounces, double bottoms on this 130 zone, I'm getting long there, because we can see when that holds, when that does not hold, we get a little bit selly. We push up, we see the moves that are possible. As of now, we're not getting closes over that. They're make me very confident. But again, I do not want to be long up here late. I want to buy the dips down here. Okay. There's some levels in between here. If we push up into this 132, we're grabbing that little cluster there. So a break and retest of 132 is possible as well. But if we kind of open, let me zoom in real quick. Zoom in just a little bit more for you guys here. Sorry about that. So excuse me. If we tag this zone here, so if we kind of trickle in here, I do not want to chase a long starting here. I want to get a breakout, a little push up, a back test, and prove that it holds this. So we're ignoring this down here, that it's holding this cluster here, because if it holds, what happens when it holds? We get the bounce. So that's what we want here. We want to do repeatable action, price action setups. We don't be just chasing and doing random stuff. Breakout retest, we want to see price action like that. If we kind of trickle in here, set some double tops here, I'm not overly bearish, but I definitely do not want to get long at 132 after seeing 132 fail. We get that price action there. So two options here, iPhone or anybody else watching, 130 or a break and retest of 132 for a day trade. For swings, we really got a bottom tick, some big support levels here. Let's see, that person left. Ben, you're still here. Let's take a look at EOSE. January 18 calls. I like your strike. I like your expiration. I think MMA is on this name as well. I'm not for sure, but I think he's in shares or probably leaps, but I recognize the name a little bit. So if you're not in already, where would I buy? So new to charting, anybody? I'm grabbing the top side of this wick here, and it also lines up with that bottom side. So resistance, boom, slams it down, flip support. Resistance on the way up. Basically, the candle body closes, it pushes up their 5 rejection again. And what do we have on the 4 hour here? Do we have much to work with? All right. Cool. All right, first and foremost, Ben, this name is ran and ran a lot. Doesn't mean it cannot go more, but if this thing starts cooling off or dipping, you got to have a plan. So for me, if I were to buy the dip and I'm not in already, kind of this 15.44 here, you see that swing high there, we dip, we break back over, leg up, back into it, we leg down under that previous swing there, we reject Friday, and now after hours movement, we're up over it. So again, break and retest of that is where I'd get long and stay long, because we reclaim the support and this daily 9 moving average will be stacked underneath you. And hopefully, if you catch a breakout and it starts stair stepping, it's never that easy. Your daily 9 is coming in here, your daily 20 is coming underneath you. You have 2 forms of support to go ride what I think is the previous recent, all-time high zone there. So that's the spot to get long. We start breaking under like 14 on this 13, 14 zone. Things can get ugly, and you got to have a plan. Don't, again, just because it's January calls, that's not a ton of time, a couple months out. I like the time, but it's not a lot. So keep an eye on that level there. Take a screenshot if you want, or mark down the levels. ONDS. I think Empanada plays this name. In some shares at 15, or excuse me, 10.15, sorry. All right. Did you get in last week and it sold on you? Oof, is that all-time high? Yep. All right. What was your plan? Let's see, Errol, what's your plan? This one, was this a share flip, or let me know. I see in here a lot, which is great. This a long-term hold or a share flip? Buy and hold. Okay, cool. Didn't want to do that. Yes, you're down 22% ish. So not a lot of information here, not gonna lie, but let's find a game plan for you. So you're kind of at that threshold, I like to say 15-20%, where I would cut if I don't, it's a long-term hold, I don't want to hold for, 80% loss. So what I'd be doing here, I do like this zone here. So again, like I say, a lot of the setups we're looking at, a high breakout, another, retest this kind of this double top here. When we break out, it was support, and we sold through. So that's kind of this range here I'm looking for. I'm gonna draw a range box. Haven't done that yet tonight. It's gonna be red, but let's just pretend it's green for support, like I like to do. But if this holds here, man, 725 to 775. If you're not in too heavy already, I think it's worth to scale in. I don't know how quick you want to scale in on something if you bought up here and you're already red. But again, we got a couple days, about a week here consolidation, 75 cents a breakout. We come back down into it. If it holds there, yeah, you're red, but that gives me confidence that there's still buyers present here. But if they leg this down again, what do we have to look for? We have to look for other clusters here that it keeps legging down. And so for me, I'm already staring at a 20% loss. Anything under 7, I know you mentioned it's a buy and hold, which is, I'm assuming, long-term. But again, how my mind thinks, I can sell at a loss here and move on and just put my money elsewhere versus just holding. I know it's shares, no expiration, but you have all that money tied up because you haven't sold. And then you're like, okay, now I'm gonna sell down here. Well, if you didn't sell down here, why don't you just sell up here? And so tricky spot, man. But hopefully this holds for this week here, the 7, because it's proven that they're holding it as of now. So, but hopefully that pays for you. All right, getting caught up finally. Let's see. All right. We got SRPT, and then we got QU. Is James still in here? James, why'd you leave? Max, you're in here? All right, SRPT. What's you in on this one, Max? Looking to be in, want to be in? Like I say, if you guys are up huge, I'd say be trimming up here if you're looking for an entry. James, he's back. All right, you're up next, brother. Just give you guys a hard time because sometimes you request stuff and gotta leave, but you guys got families, you got dinner. It's acceptable. It's all right. You guys are already putting in the time and work, being here, so I can't fault you for that. All right. Looking to get a gap fill. Gap fill. Where do we got our gap? Oh my. I was just zoomed away. I thought this was all-time highs. Ooh. I kind of like this one, man. What was Sherpta Therapeutics? So that's healthcare stuff. Oh yeah, definitely. All right, cool. Tell me what they do and convince me. Give me your best sales pitch that this is a good company to buy in, because I like being a bottom feeder on some shares, or some leaps if someone can prove that they got a setup and the company is worth investing in. Short term, definitely some top side tricky spots here. Let me do one thing here. It's 24 to cool. At least you're honest. Weekly. Just going back in time, I want to see what it's doing off that 24. How far back do we gotta go? Oh yeah, that 24 is pesky for sure. All right, we got a game plan. All right, if you're not in already, man, if you can bottom tick here, that's a nice 12% flip. If anyone sees this, again, I don't know what this company does, not financial advice, but a share position on this bottom daily, weekly range, and then a gap fill overhead, which obviously is still pesky. It proved that 2 weeks ago. But guys, if you can get a bottom tick on some shares or some leaps, max or day trades, as long as liquidity is good on this 22, that's money. As long as that 22 holds, we see those bounces proven each time. We know when it sells underneath us that we're wrong on short-term calls, and possibly some shares could get ugly. But man, if this holds here, it's easy for me. How I like to trade, just stair step action. Buy at 22, sell at 22.7, 23.45, 24, 24.7. Definitely be out there. Take your puts, or excuse me, get out of your shares if you want. Nice 12% flip, or short this damn thing because it's the start of a gap, the start of all gaps on the bottom. Or if it's on the bottom, it is resistance. If we're selling down into a gap, the start of the gap on the top side will act as support. So you never want to be super bearish at the start of a gap and super bullish on the bottom side of the gap. So if you don't want to get in here, basically just set alert here for a 12% move up and a breakout retest this 24/7 move there. Tricky spot, but again, you guys, nice range here. $2.70 range, 12% share flip on shares. I'll take that all day long. QUBT, 25 calls for November. Ooh, we got some levels here from somebody. Broke that 20, don't like that. Let's zoom out. Where are we at here? Are you looking to get into these, James, or you are already in and possibly red? Let me know in the chat. Already in, all right. What day did you get in? What day of the week or a price level? That kind of helps me out here. Very red, 45%. All right, appreciate the honesty. If and only if you're in a partial position, I will show you where I would take an average. 45% is not lovely, but if we take an average here and we get out, you can make some profit. Because another thing, you guys, when we start selling, so James bought, a strike that was reasonable, and now he's red. And so when it goes against you, not only are you red, you guys, but you're now farther and farther out of the money. We're now $7 out of the money from where he bought. So that hurts the option. Greeks will hurt you even more the farther you get out of money. But this level here, James, is 17.43 to 17.76. It proved it just on Friday that there's buyers there. So you got a little bit of time. You got about a month of time. If you're truly in a partial position, you bought somewhere around here. Okay. Tough luck for sure, man. It's that Thursday price action. But again, if we can do a couple things here. First and foremost, you decide how much risk you want to take on. If we cut this, if we break this level, this is 100% a cut for me. Trade is invalid. But we're seeing buyers here. So if we slam this any day this week, hopefully sooner than later, so you can get in on an average, and not have, time decay, as time goes on. But if you're in a partial position, I would definitely take an average here and see if you can get out. Okay. If you get in and you average correctly, I don't know what that number is, and we bounce, what are we looking at? Your buy-in is instantly green. Your average is probably, hopefully 20%, 25% red. If we push back in this 20 zone and you're in profit, you gotta sell. If we push in this zone and you're less red and it's relief to you because you're probably in heavy, you gotta sell. Because if we start rejecting this 20 zone, which was a huge support, we reject that, it gets selly pretty bad sell. But we break that, it's back to the original game plan, how I see it. So option number one, buy the dip down here. Option two is it doesn't dip that far, and we kind of trickle in here, what I would call the middle of the range of this zone here. This is the top, this is the bottom, this is the middle. If we push up to it, the break and retest of this is where I would take another entry here. But for me, I would not take an average in the middle of no man's land, because if you take an average here, we sell, your original entry is red, your average is red. We don't want that. So I would take a break and retest or a dip buy into here. Hopefully this move comes faster for you, but 45% not ideal, but it is a November contract and not something that's weekly, so it's doable to get out of it, but not sitting pretty. But yeah, send me a DM this week or message me on Trade Floor if you need some help privately on, how and what to buy, how many contracts or whatever, stuff like that. So tricky spot. That's a hard sell, because honestly, man, if you bought somewhere into here, two moving average underneath you stacked, nice support zone in here in this 2150, that would be a buy for me. It just, maybe they had news or maybe that was a market down day, but tricky spot, bad timing for sure. Let's see. All right, I know we're caught up. I want to go over one or two. Maybe you guys like my trades, maybe not. Max and Ben, I'll get to those in just 1 second. What was I looking at? I just want to go over a couple trades I'm eyeing, you guys. Disney. I won't spend too much time on this. Sorry. I'm still looking at Lyft, you guys. I really like this setup. Obviously, it's risky with tariffs, and I want to buy this dip here. I would alert this on Friday, but I was too much of a chicken just with all the back and forth action. But I might take action on this week. Hopefully it doesn't get away from us. But this 1946 to 1950, this is Lyft, LYFT, trend break. I really like this setup. On the daily, this green zone here, pay attention. That is what we're bouncing. That's why I do not want to be bearish on swings for this name. We can day trade this for sure, but I want to be bullish on a swing on this. But if we gap and go, so if we gap and go, I think the trade is lost temporarily because it doesn't move a lot. This is only, not even a $1 move. So we got to be right. We got to bottom tick best we can. And so Lyft, I'm really watching this week. PayPal, yes. PayPal and KO, and then I'll go back to requests, you guys. So PayPal, very interesting spot here for swings and day trades, you guys. I'm watching this actually. I need to get some alerts here because I want to trade this again. We caught that Friday, breakout retest, perfect trend day on it. I want to get more of this price action here on PayPal this week. So my game plan, you guys, bullish over 67.78. If you want to take a screenshot or take notes, bearish under 67.26. When we hold this, we leg up. We fail it and we reject it, we leg down. So bullish, bearish, no man's land. PayPal, that is on watch. And quickly, KO, I think, is the same situation. So basically, this breakout retest, do we leg up or do we fail to leg up? KO, I think, is the same thing. It's running just a little bit, but I'm looking for a 68.10 back test this week. Getting alerts right here. A zoomed out look. Look at that green zone there, you guys. Support down here. Turns it red. Resistance, fail, leg down. Finding its way, clawing back up. Resistance, breakout day Friday. So I want to get a back test, daily 200. I do not want to be late bullish up here, especially at this zone here. If I were to extend this, color this red. Red is resistance. Daily 200 and that stacked overhead. We, at least people that trade with me, we do not get long up here if you're late to that party. We do not get long up here. So back test, hopefully a 68.10 back test this week. I like for day trades and swings calls. I'm bearish if we kind of half-ass make pushes into here that don't really break out. I'm bearish on some day trades. I don't really want to swing puts, although puts could work, but I'm bearish on day trade for sure. All right, we'll squeeze in a couple. Yo, I did not do hymns. Did I skip you? If I did, I'm sorry. I don't think I've seen it in here. Maybe I skipped it. I did skip it. Let's hit it, man. and then ADM and CCJ, and that might wrap up class. Hymns. Ooh, big breakdown, big breakdown. All right, let's zoom out. You looking for share? Let's see, what did they say? You want to get shares on this or swing? You want to get long? Cool. All right. Let's get some thick lines here. And then we'll zoom out and see what are we looking for? Where are we bouncing? Where can we possibly bounce? Yep, just basically a big upper range consolidation up here is how I see this. About a $10 range. So if you're not in already, this is what I'd be watching, guys, for you lovers of this name. Several things I'm seeing here. First and foremost, I think this would be a golden setup, an A+ setup, you guys. So a trend line combined with, we haven't talked about this yet, this daily 200, what's it doing? It's pretty much acting as the trend line. It moves very slow. Earnings are going to make it tricky, are going to throw a wrench in this, especially if they pin it right here. But what I'll be watching for on this, you guys, I don't know if the price action is going to be in the next couple of weeks. But that 48.5, that big zone here, that big thick line on the bottom there, that's what I'll be watching. If we fail this 51 zone, I'm not for certain, but I'm confident we'll come down into here. I do not want to be bearish here. I would be bullish as long as the company doesn't have a bunch of bad news coming out. Get your shares, get your day trades, get your swing longs with caution here. But again, huge level on the daily and the weekly. If that fails, daily 200 is not far underneath, and trend line as well. If that fails, it gets really ugly. They need to figure some stuff out. Buyers do. So this 51 holds, breakout retest all day long, and he bounces into here, but kind of in the middle here. I don't want to be bullish. I would lean bearish for day trades into the zone here. Tricky spot, but yeah, they got whacked. So they must, yeah, some news to the CEO for sure. So nice request though. All right, ADM and CCJ. And then, cool, I think we're caught up. I recognize this name. Is this real estate or am I crazy? I feel like I've had this name on my watch list in Webull, but weekly. Who was this? Max, what do you think on this one, man? Looking to bottom feed some shares or definitely weekly range here for sure. Yep. So kind of stuck. Breakout 64.44 failing. Buyers are present at 58. So if you're not in, we push this upper range. How I trade, you know how I trade by now. Breakout retest or back test support. So for me, 61 all day long, but with caution, because if we sell into that, you're gonna have us moving averages overhead. So that's gonna be resistance on the way up. But we're rejecting here a little after hours action. So we'll kind of have to see. But if that breaks, it's going to trap a lot of sellers. A lot of people are trying to be short, and it's probably going to move the price higher and fast over 64.44. But until then, we know that's our top range, kind of middle here and lower range here. So not my favorite spot, but tricky. If we break that, for sure, get long, stay long on some shares and some long swings. But as much as we're rejecting it, I am not trying to start a position kind of up here. If you want to be bullish, get bullish somewhere down here. It's all about patience, you guys, because when you're in, let's just say down here with a very low risk and a high reward, it's very easy to cut a losing trade because the stop is small, the percent loss is small, and it should not make you angry that you're trying to long and a support breaks. You just cut it and move on. Definitely. Ben is still here. Cool. We'll hit CCJ, and I think that'll be it, guys. Super good request tonight. Oh, CCJ. 95 call. Cool. All right, a little bit of a dip. Where are we dipping to? All-time highs, I assume. Like most things nowadays. Get a game plan here. Yeah, a lot of just, so one thing I first and foremost, been lots of indecision in here. And if you guys, anyone looking at this and saying, well, what do you mean indecision? Look at just from just the last couple weeks here. Huge wicks top side, huge wicks bottom side. This is just indecision zone. This is sellers saying, nope, we're not going over 89. This is buyers saying, nope, we're holding 85. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And so if you're not in this is the daily chart right now. You got to buy dips down here if you're looking for shares 85 or swings or day trades. And then 89 is your top range. It's a $4 range. Like it or not, that's what I'm seeing right here because it's just indecision. We get over it. Like I said on that last name, once a breakout happens, it is fast, it's hard, and it moves fast, moves quickly. Break under, hard selling pressure kicks in. And so an intraday look here, probably the same story is where is buying stalling out? They're smacking it down. Where are they buying the dip? Okay, always zoom out. You guys have a plan. It's no accident why it's rejected here when you look left and go, oh, duh. This is a zone to watch. This is the pivot zone of swing highs and swing lows, recent price action. Why does it keep bouncing here? You look left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in a row. It's very obvious. Buy your dips down here. If you're late, short the top. If you're wrong on the short, get a breakout retest, get your continuation to the upside. Okay, again, this is a range. People scream out that they hate it, whether it's this or something else. Obviously, like a 50-cent range on SPY or something, we don't like that. But a range like this, you guys, you're short up here and you're long down here. This is a blessing when you can look at a chart and go, man, this rejected 10 times up here and it's bounced 10 times down here. Well, like that's free money. We look for ways and places to have an edge in the market. This is how you have an edge in the market. Don't chase stuff at all-time high and go, how high is it going? I don't know. Buy your dips where you know it's going to bounce. Short the tops where you think or assume or want it to reject. Find your trades with the highest probability setups, you guys, the best risk reward. Okay. 5 minutes early. Let's do a SPY recap. If you guys want to head out, eat your dinner, play with your kids, watch football, whatever it is. Appreciate you guys being here. But quick recap on SPY if you guys came late. Here we go. Get out of drawing mode. I am bullish on day trades on the week. If we hold 64455, we're breaking over Friday's close. Bullish signal number 1. We reclaim the daily 20, the daily 9 moving average. Bullish signal number 2. Price action looking left is bullish signal number 3. What happens when we hold this level? I know this is pre-market action, big moves to the top side. Big moves to the top side. Big moves to the top side, big moves to the top side. Okay. If we sell under, I'm bearish on SPY for the day, and I'm bearish on overall market setups that follow either that are in SPY or that are following this sentiment. Okay. Why am I bearish under this level? What happens when we sell under and fail to reclaim it? Selling pressure. What happens when we fail to reclaim this level? Selling pressure. What happens when we fail to claim this level? Selling pressure. You guys, do not make trading hard. Find your swing highs and lows in the market. It is the easiest setup for trading. You guys are trying to chase breakouts up here on any other name, or you're trying to short bottoms. Like, Catch your swing highs and lows where you know your risk is very small. Your reward is all this potentially up here. If you're scalping, I'm not saying hold a full position all the way to 667, but you can trim on these wicks all the way up. If you're a swing trader, you buy the bottom, you see instant green. This is your reward up here. Your risk is somewhere under, probably for me, this cluster from the afternoon. We sell through that. What do we know? Highest volume of the day, the open and the close. We sell through this. We're slicing all this volume from Friday. We're probably going to get bearish and at least test the 663. Okay. Do not force trading. Do not force setups. Do not just take puts because you think it's up too much or take calls because you think it's down too much. You have to long, win and where it makes sense. You have to short, win and where it makes sense. We see where it makes sense, our tops and bottoms. Okay. With that, you guys, I'm in the chat. I appreciate you guys being here. All 17 of you stuck around. DMs are always open. You guys send me a DM. Say, hey, I'm looking at this. Here's my chart. I think these are the targets. I want these contracts. What do you think? I'll absolutely help you. If you just say, hey, SPY calls, what do you think? I'm just gonna, tell you to put some work in, because me just spoon feeding you guys or anybody else does not help you guys learn. We want you guys to learn, because when you're self-sufficient, trading on your own it's an amazing feeling, you guys. And you guys will all get there one day. You got to put the work in, though. Have a great night, guys. With that, I'll see you tomorrow.